What's backwards?
Backwards loop.
Am I going this way?
But yeah, we've been going that way.
Oh, you want me to do it backwards?
No, you are doing it backwards.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
What?
Yeah.
How you figure?
You're doing it exactly backwards of the way we've been doing it all day. We need to be going that way.
Listen to those downshifts.
Yeah.
It's cool. Cameras are running. Who's starting this thing?
You. Because you're driving. It's part of driving, man.
Oh.
The drive is the lead.
Hello, welcome to the car. How was that?
Super. 2021 Shelby GT500.
That's what we're in.
Orange.
Orange.
Huh?
It's orange.
Orange.
I love it. I mean, the color is nice. It stands out. A really good looking Mustang, Shelby GT500. That Kona blue. Hey, that car was beautiful, but man, this car, like, it just pops.
Yeah. It makes the car just seem like a different car.
This has aftermarket wheels, which are also orange with black accents. Well, how do you feel?
It looks good enough. It's not my style. It's not what I would do.
Yeah, I probably wouldn't put those wheels on. I don't mind them though.
I'd probably want something like Forge Lines or something, but...
So we picked up this car yesterday. We've been driving it now for a while. I'm happy with it.
Yeah, I like it. I like it a lot.
This is one of these, I mean, it's a smile machine. I tell you where I've been really surprised. Like right now, driving this, we're just cruising down the road.
You can just drive it, yeah.
It's very mild. This is like driving any car. I mean, you know, there's hints, there's little burbles, and there's sounds, and there's rumbles.
Well, it's also in sport mode right now, so the exhaust is opened up, and...
Switch right on the dash there for the exhaust.
Yep.
I like that.
Yep.
It's very mild-mannered, even in sport mode. If your foot is not on the accelerator, if you're staying light, you push it, gives you the grins.
Yeah, for sure.
I mean, it'll do something. I might have just pooped myself.
Well, the grins are different than the runs.
I'm having them both.
Huh.
5.2 liter V8, all aluminum, 760 horsepower. What's the torque?
625.
625. Yeah, and you can tell every bit of it.
Oh yeah.
This is a different. It's a different world when you jump from a car that's, you know, say 500 horsepower. You know, the Corvette, cars like that. You're adding a couple hundred horsepower. That's like
on top of
that's
it.
That's a serious machine. I mean, this is basically a race car.
Oh yeah.
You know,
yeah.
it's a race car on the road. Handles crazy, right? That means definitely this car does not have that carbon fiber package. I would love to drive this car with the carbon fiber wheels to see how that feels.
Yeah, the reduced weight.
I think it's something like 40 pounds less.
And I'm sure these wheels weigh even more than just the
these aftermarket wheels gotta be,
yeah,
they gotta be heavy. The lights in Las Vegas, we've mentioned this I think in multiple videos. You can tell a difference in your age by the time you stop at a light and get moving.
They're literally 5 to 7 minutes long.
They're incredibly long.
Off strip's not as bad, but they're still incredibly
Still awful. There's a lot to hate about the lights in Las Vegas. This car is pretty optioned out.
I think the only thing it doesn't have is the carbon fiber package and the Recaro seats.
Right. Yeah.
They're still leather heated and cooled seats.
I don't need a Recaro seat. This seat,
these hold.
I think it's comfortable.
Yeah.
Holds. They look great. Love the stitching. You know, it's a nice interior. A lot of carbon fiber accents. That's all cool. Love the gauge cluster right here in between the vents.
Yeah, you got a nice mix of the digital cluster for all of your, most of your gauges, but then you also have an oil pressure and an oil temp right here in the middle. Gives you the old school feel, Right. It's nicely laid out. There's a lot of controls on the steering wheel. It's got the paddle shifters, but then it's got, radio controls. It's got, all the mode and everything. There's a lot of stuff in this car. A lot of tech. Yeah.
A lot of technology on this car, so there's a lot of places to manage it. I'm trying to enjoy the ride. It's like music in this car.
Yeah, it is. I haven't had the radio on at all.
It's got a kick-ass stereo, so I'm told. It's got a bunch of speakers. Apparently it rocks. I don't know. I wouldn't know. I may never turn it on. But performance, I mean, that's where my brain goes to when I think about this car.
Yeah, absolutely.
It's performance. Not just the motor, it rocks, but it's also got those big brakes.
6-piston Brembos in the front, 4-piston in the back. You got the Magnaride dampening system, so you can adjust, the suspension dampening.
I have not messed around. It has this selectable power steering.
Yeah, I did play with that. I think there were 4 different settings there. There's normal, which was it was pretty light,
right?
And then it went up from there into sport and.
I had it in sport. What am I going to these other modes for? I'm not reviewing this car. I'm not Doug DeMuro.
Yeah, no.
No offense to Doug, he does a great job. This is the horn button. Just saying. I'm not trying to take over for Doug.
Unless he wants to have his channel taken over, then.
Call me Doug.
Hollow.
Earlier today, we were out in this thing, driving around various places. Shelby American.
Yep.
Right? We're picking up strangers. The Las Vegas sign. Down at
Paris.
the Paris hotel. Just picking up random people and taking them for rides to see what, they thought, what were their impressions of the car.
Let them experience the car,
But that video is pretty fun. A couple good reactions, from people taking a ride. So be sure to watch that. It's fun to put people in a car. We had people that had experience in Shelbys. We had some Shelby owners. We had people that never been in a car at all. They didn't, just fans. One guy today got in, told me this was his dream car. And so it's a lot of fun to get people in a car like that, give them a chance to experience it. It's a lot of fun. I enjoy sharing that with people.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
And these people, I love the car community and car people. Because we sort of automatically we have this sort of bond.
Yeah.
But then it's even fun to take people who aren't car people and
Right.
give them the opportunity to ride in something like this.
Yeah, that might be even more fun because somebody that has experience in a car like this is not
A little
gonna
jaded.
Be as, yeah, they're more jaded. I still get a smile from it, but they're like, they're not as surprised by the fact that this car. I talk all the time about my wife and how she's like, oh, this little, Civic is fast.
Right.
And I'm like, no, it's not fast. It's really quick and peppy.
Peppy.
Because her idea of a fast car is very different than mine.
Peppy mode.
So yeah, it's in peppy mode. But yeah, it's great. You get a non-car person, somebody that just has no clue, and put them in something, especially like this, because this is just,
Right.
top shelf, 760 horsepower. It's insane. Electric line lock. How about that?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's nice.
I think you had fun with that on a rental car last year.
Right, yeah. Who puts that on a rental car? I assumed it was on a rental car. That's an option there for me to use, so I tried it out.
They didn't disable it. I mean, it's just a feature of the car.
Yeah, and I was happy to use it. I don't really, in a car like this, I don't care that much about a cup holder, but I'll say these are more well placed than most cars.
Yeah.
It's comfortable. I like the seats. I could definitely road trip this car.
Oh, absolutely.
It's not, you might get tired of it after a big, 1,500 miles or something, but.
Yeah, you're tired of all cars after 1,500
Right, yeah,
miles.
but I find it very comfortable. And I'm a big fat guy,
Yeah, you can road trip it. You could daily drive it.
Easily.
Your fuel economy is not going to be great. It only gets 12 miles per gallon in the city and 18 on the highway. But
I got news for you, brother. There's no way this thing's getting 12 miles per gallon.
oh yeah, we're in the single digits today.
Yeah. I'm not ever getting 12 miles to the gallon in this thing. Maybe if I'm going downhill for a long time. I love that sound.
Yeah, downshifts are great.
This car is really, it really speaks to me. I would, in this price range, this is a car I would buy.
Yeah, at the lower end of the price range that this car occupies, I think it's a player. When you start getting into the top end, that's when you start losing.
If I were ever to buy one, I would not get the carbon fiber pack.
No.
75 grand, right? Sticker on this car.
I'm in.
Big time.
It's a 7-speed dual clutch transmission. You could either just put it in drive and let it, handle the gear shifting for you, or you can put it in manual mode. You got paddles behind the steering wheel there.
It's fun in manual mode. A lot of people are going to be butthurt because there's no manual shift.
Well,
Can't have it.
The number of options for a traditional stick shift are getting few and far between.
Disappearing fast.
Yeah, it's going to be extinct soon.
This is the fastest Mustang ever made.
Yeah, it is the fastest production Mustang ever made, and it is Ford's most powerful street legal product that they've ever made.
It's an impressive car. Now,
it's also the most expensive Mustang ever made, starting at $74,000.
I tell you what, 74 grand, that's without that carbon fiber pack. And let me tell you what else, in the middle of this COVID car crisis, you're not going to pick one up for under 100 grand.
Well, I'll tell you, just the other day I was in a Ford dealership and they had it was almost like a highlighter yellow color one. It had carbon fiber package, it had everything. It's completely loaded up. The sticker was like $99,000 and they had a $30,000 market adjustment on it. So you're talking about $129,000.
No, I'm not buying it for that.
No, there's too many other cars.
I'm too cheap. I'm too cheap to take a beating on that markup.
Yeah, there's
same thing with like the Corvette. Right now it's crazy. I'm not going to spend that kind of money when I know the bubble is going to pop soon.
Yeah. And then beyond that, at the end of the day, I mean, it is still a Mustang.
Right.
And I can't imagine paying that amount of money. If I were going to spend that kind of money, I would probably be getting something like a Cayman GT4 or something.
We've discussed this before.
Yeah.
This Mustang is really, I mean, it looks good.
Yeah.
It does look good. I mean, it stands out in a crowd of Mustangs. Is it wild enough for me to spend that kind of money?
At $74,000, at $80,000, yes. But when you start talking about 90 or 100, I'm out.
Right. Yeah. That's where you lose me. Yeah. It's a good looking car. I mean, it might be one of the best looking Mustangs ever made.
Oh yeah,
it's hard to judge that kind of thing because every era is kind of cool.
Yeah.
You know, I love 60s Mustangs. You know, the 65 is, you know, a little more, what do you call it, the secretary's car, right?
Yeah.
I like those cars. I like them better when they start turning into Shelbys back then, right?
Yeah.
I love the late '60s muscle car Mustangs. You know, those are my favorites. But every era sort of has its thing. Maybe not the sort of the middle '70s, the dark years.
Yeah, the dark years.
Yeah.
The lost years. God, that sounds good.
It's just music to your ears. I think this thing is cool as hell. I would like to have one. If I did, I'd be in a lot of trouble.
Yeah, I would definitely be on the receiving end of a lot of tickets.
Yeah, I'm surprised I haven't gotten one yet in the last 2 days.
Yeah.
It's been a lot of fun out here. A lot of flat roads, long straightaways. Yeah, middle of the desert. So it's been a good time. That's sweet.
Oh yeah. A little exhaust and supercharger on that one.
It's an awesome car. GT500, love it. Back to the outside. I love the louvered hood.
Yeah. Yeah.
I like the sequential tail lights.
Yeah, definitely.
This thing has too. It's cool. You know, I mean, it's gimmicky. It's been around 10 years probably. That I know, but I love the projector lamps. You open the doors, it shows a little cobra down on the ground.
Oh yeah.
I love that little detail. It's just cool. It's just fun. You know. That got a little squirrely.
Yeah, I don't know if that was. I'm guessing that was launch control.
I don't know if that was. I don't know if we were in launch control or not. But I'll tell you what, you just pooped yourself.
It was pretty rowdy.
We about bounced off the road. I'm a big fan of the sort of rear end, I don't know what you call it, like the rear end diffuser on this thing.
Yeah,
sort of underneath where the exhaust comes out. I love that look. I love the exhaust tips. And more importantly, I love the way this thing sounds. The exhaust note is cool.
Yeah, this is completely stock. Now it is in sport mode, but there's a mode that's quieter than this one where it's...
Who would turn that on?
I don't know.
Who would turn on quiet mode?
No idea.
Karen.
Yeah, well, Karen wouldn't drive this.
I don't know who would turn on the quiet mode exhaust.
I mean, I guess maybe if you were trying to sneak back into the house late, told the wife you'd be home at, 8, and I don't know. Maybe if you've got a neighborhood full of Karens that you have to drive through to get home, maybe that's... Yes.
That's like half foot. I mean, that's not even into it. What are you gonna do, man? 760 horsepower. I'd be Paul Walkered in a week.
Oh,
is that too soon?
No,
Too soon?
I don't know if it's too soon. I think it's just too spicy.
Is it too spicy?
It's too spicy for the car community.
Oh God.
Paul Walker. What the